start. Ethan left, trolling behind there. And further back, Ethan already going defensive at turn 1. Down the inside comes one of the BMWs now. And almost taps the side of the Mercedes. Further back, carnage going on there. And I believe they all get through cleanly at turn 1 this time. Ferrari though, he's going to have a look down the inside. Down the inside goes Ferrari. Covering off goes the Ferrari. Round the outside goes, he forgets. Well, this is bonkers down the back. Well, talk about great racing to end the year. Again, not good enough there. It's this track. He's going to try on the outside. One's wide, and he's going to be side by side. Is Salita going to try down the inside? They're going to make contact or not?
Vector's ran off the track. Yes. Vector did run off the track there, but I don't think...
Get away with it.
He might just get away with it.
Going to make the move. Yes. Into the lead. Pulls alongside. Pulls ahead the Audi. First of the Ferrari. Now, Ronnie is going to be going shallow. Can he go on the outside again? Yes. Yes. Fight. And takes the lead again. And watch out for that McLaren following behind. This is fantastic stuff. Your top 3 separated by under 1 second. And coming along is Solo Salita. He's going to try turn 1. Does he get through? They all finally, I think they've all got through at turn 1 correctly. I think it's finally happened. They've all got through turn 1. Will they get through turn 2? They almost make contact at the back. They're all squirming together.
Let's see, and Alessia's lost it again, and a Ferrari at the same time. Synchronised spinning right there.
I don't think anything can Red do. Gav into the lead. Gav leads the Belgian Grand Prix. And boy, oh boy, has this turned into a shocker. Red in the pit for the lead. He's got a beautiful run. Slingshots past and takes the lead. Now,
to have the inside.
We'll have the inside. Now, this could be close. And down the inside. Yes, he does do it. One's a bit wide. Cut back. Could be new options. Now, side by side. As they come down here. Hoy's going to try and give them as much of a squeeze. And does take second position there. Oh, he tries slow. Backs out that time. It's the rear almost there.
So close. So
behind the slipstream. I don't think Alessia's going to do too much about this as he goes down the inside into turn 1. Alessia's going to try and hold it around the outside. Gets on the grass around the outside. Alessia tries to hold on, and it's not going to quite do it for Alessia. And Ferrari makes that move and gets it finished.
Pulling along. He's going to go to the lead. They've got Sig on the outside. It's going to be free into turn 1. Is it all going to be clean? The answer to that is a grand total of yes. It seems to be. Running wide. There goes Fundown. He's going to jump up to second. Sig drops down to 4th, and this is going
third position in this Grand Prix. Look at Pancho. He might give him a little squeeze towards the wall. Down the inside goes in for yes for 3rd position. Can he get it done, or will he hold it around the outside? He'll try. He will try to hold it around the outside. He gives him the squeeze. Contact made. Good little battle. Inforgets will move to 3rd position, and can he come back? No, he can't. Good little battle from those two guys there.
Brave if he's going to try. I think he'll back out of it. Surely he has to, unless it's me, because I would have made a move, but he backs out of it. One's wide. He's going to go for the lead. He is into the lead, and he leads. Skull lead. Battling. That was handful there. Down the inside. That's a good move. Get it there over the curb, bagging tyres.
Did he cut him there? So did he cut him? I thought he cut him.
Does it? Podium. He's on the podium. Finally, he's done it. After so long. Forza GAVRA. There's everyone celebrating. Solo Salita's just having a donut. Does do it. Same position where another car with a side-by-side down to a route. This could end badly. Does it? Brazy bravely backs out of that one. He's not going to try that. He'd be mad to try side-by-side.
Ruapuna Park. The lights go red for Ruapuna Park. Round 6. And it's go! And Cash gets an amazing start. Ferrari gets away well. Alessio gets a storming start. Goes into second. He's going to
try it.
On the brakes.
Yes, he tries, takes a slice. Down inside he goes. One's wide. Throws him through as well. And into second place. That's how you do
12
it. 12
cars are within a second of each other. Actually, 13 are within a second of each other. That is actually madness. That shows how evenly matched it is.
Might take him on the inside again.
He's challenging. Oh, he is. Look at this. Does Sig battles with a wild Renault. Look at that side by side behind. Around the outside. Sig, and I think around the outside as well. To go GT Luke, and they're still side by side. Would you look at this? You don't see this very often. Ooh. Well, great stuff between those two.
Side by side again. What's ooh.
Yeah, good move. Should be over.
Championship contender. Oh, he's got to launch on the inside. And there you have it. All said and done.
Metro trying to the inside. Here we are then. For the lead. For the lead. Does he make a move? Tries. No, can't do it. Gets his nose chopped right up. Not close enough to make a move. I would have faked down the inside. What a dive! And does do it. What a dive from such a long way back.
Unbelievable.
That wasn't even an overtaking opportunity, and now he's coming back side by side, down into the right-hander, and they almost touch around the outside, now down the inside. Look at this, side by side. Absolutely bonkers, and this lets Pirelli catch up. Down the inside goes, down the inside. Beautiful move. Does he do it? Pulls it off. Fantastic move then.
It was Gav left.
Oh, Tsuki! Oh my... The most cartoon crash ever. It's a... no improvement for Hiker. Is it going to be one for It Forgets? Yes, but they... Oh my god. Now that is teammates. That is how identical those cars are. Exactly the same time. 120.823.
Inside here, he'll try the... Oh, he's on the grass! On the grass! And passes! And tries! Now he's going to be diving on the brake. Down the inside goes Stapleton and go. What a move from the Italian!
There's 1 point in it. Van Elk wins by 1 point otherwise. So Razy's got... He's he's lost it. Oh, Van Elk spun. Van Elk, they both spun. Oh my god. Oh my god. They will both be going mental.
Sweden wins the American Grand Prix. Let's go to third position, Low, as coming through and crossing the line, your new world champion. Hayo is the champion of the world. Metro 666 comes the line and wins the Japanese Grand Prix, and with it the title itself, and slows right down.
Is he got it? Yeah.
And world champion, Vectro 666, finally. Well, 5 lights, and we're underway, and well, there goes the grid, and they're gone. Something has gone horribly wrong.
Up the inside of Hiker, nice move there. Hiker noticed him and gave the space.
And away we go, and it's a very good start from Rip It Up. Look at him, right down the middle. Vectro also getting away very well there. Sig up the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he is. No, he's not.
Almost made contact.
Almost made contact there.
Get through. I think they've all got through.
Everyone has got through there. Rip It Up going a bit slowly on the inside there. Solid Solita losing the back end, but keeps it.
See, down the inside. That's going to be a easy move if he does get anywhere, but again, Furia breaks very late. Oh!
Here as these two battle away. Skulls going around the outside later on the brakes. Harry Potter taking the inside line. He's still there. Harry Potter's gone wide. Skull diving all over the place on the track. He's got to be careful of Boston Road. Boston Road's caught right up. Boston Road's going up the inside. Skull's just noticed him. They're side by side, almost.
He's looking around the outside into the last corner, into the clock curve. That's brave. That's very brave.
You think this one checked it? Oh boy, yeah.
Oh, he tried that inside! And he got to move this time. He's alongside and trying and hurry. And he's trying to the outside. Is Ethan going to give him that? He's going to brake late. Can Andre try a cutback? No, not yet. He'll be brave to go on the lead. Looking for the lead. Vectro takes the lead here, and now red timesing and hits him almost. Does almost hit him.
I thought he was going to then, but he moved. I think he moved over.
Inside goes DJ. Does he make the move? No, he backs out of it. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he definitely doesn't. Well, down the inside goes Mateo. There we go. Back down the inside. Have that one, Sunshine. Now he's going to go around the inside again, isn't he? If he goes down the inside again, I'll be bonkered. Nah, you can't. That's going to end the contact. No, it's on side, and then backs out of it. Oh, he runs wide. Oh, he's going to go down the inside. That's Alonso. There was Alonso to Massa. Oh, that's Ferrari around this corner. Here we are then for the Belgium Grand Prix. 5 lights. Go! And Barry gets a fantastic start. Ethan left trolling behind there. And further back, Ethan already going defensive at turn 1. Down the inside comes one of the BMWs now. And almost taps the side of the Mercedes further back. Carnage going on there. And I believe they all get through cleanly at turn 1 this time. Ferrari though, he's going to have a look down the inside. Down the inside goes Ferrari. Covering off goes the Ferrari. Round the outside goes It Forgets. Well, this is bonkers down the back. Well, talk about great racing to end the year.
Again, not good enough there. It's this track.
so
he's going to try
Salita.
on the outside. One's wide, and he's going to be side by side. Is Salita going to try down the inside? They're going to make contact. They're not.
Vector's ran off the track. Yes. Vector did run off the track there, but I don't think
get away with it.
He might just get away with it.
Going to make the move. Yes. Into the lead. Pulls alongside. Pulls ahead the Audi. First of the Ferrari. Now Ronnie is going to be going shallow. Can he go on the outside again? Yes. Yes. Fight. And takes the lead again. And watch out for that McLaren following behind. This is fantastic stuff. Your top three separated by under 1 second. And coming along is Solo Salita. He's going to try turn 1. Does he get through? They all finally, I think they've all got through at turn 1 correctly. I think it's finally happened. They've all got through turn 1. Will they get through turn 2? They almost make contact at the back. They're all squirming together.
Let's see, and Alessia's lost it again, and a Ferrari at the same time. Synchronised spinning right there.
I don't think anything can Red do. Gav into the lead. Gav leads the Belgian Grand Prix. And boy, oh boy, has this turned into a shocker. Red in the pit for the lead. He's got a beautiful run. Slingshots past and takes the lead. Now,
to have the inside.
We'll have the inside. Now, this could be close. And down the inside. Yes, he does do it. One's a bit wide. Cut back. Could be new options. Now, side by side. As they come down here, Ho's going to try and give him as much of a squeeze. And does take second position there. Oh, he tries slow. Backs out that time. It's the rear almost there.
So close. So
behind the slipstream. I don't think Alessia's going to do too much about this as he goes down the inside into turn 1. Alessia's going to try and hold it around the outside. Gets on the grass around the outside. Alessia tries to hold on, and it's not going to quite do it for Alessia. And Ferrari makes that move and gets it finished.
Pulling along. He's going to go to the lead. They've got Sig on the outside. It's going to be free into turn 1. Is it all going to be clean? The answer to that is a grand total of yes. It seems to be. Running wide. There goes Fundown. He's going to jump up to second. Sig drops down to 4th, and this is going
third
well.
position in this Grand Prix. Look at Pancho. He might give him a little squeeze towards the wall. Down the inside goes in for yes for third position. Can he get it done, or will he hold it around the outside? He'll try. He will try to hold it around the outside. He gives him the squeeze. Contact made. Good little battle. Infrigets will move to third position, and can he come back? No, he can't. Good little battle from those two guys there.
Brave if he's going to try. I think he'll back out of it. Surely he has to, unless it's me, because I would have made a move, but he backs out of it. One's wide. He's going to go for the lead. He is into the lead, and he leads. Skull leads. Battling. That was Mantle there. Down the inside. That's a good move. Get it there over the curb, bagging tyres.
Did he cut him there? Did he cut him? I thought he cut him.
Does it? Podium. He's on the podium. Finally, he's done it. After so long. Forza GAVRA. There's everyone celebrating. Solo Salita's just having a donut. Does do it. Same position where another car with a side-by-side down to a route. This could end badly. Does it? Brazy bravely backs out of that one. He's not going to try that. He'd be mad to try side-by-side.
Ruapuna Park, the lights go red for Ruapuna Park, round 6. And it's go! And Cash gets an amazing start. Ferrari gets away well. Alessio gets a storming start, goes into second. He's going to
try it.
On the brakes.
Yes, he tries, takes a slice.
Down
inside he goes. One's wide. Throws him through as well. And into second place. That's how you do
12
it. 12
cars are within a second of each other. Actually, 13 are within a second of each other. That is actually madness. That shows how evenly matched it is.
Might take him on the inside again.
He's challenging. Oh, he is. Look at this. Does Sig battles with a wild Renault. Look at that side by side behind. Around the outside. Sig, and I think around the outside as well. To go GT Luke, and they're still side by side. Would you look at this? You don't see this very often. Ooh. Well, great stuff between those two.
Side by side again.
What's ooh. Yeah, good move. Should be over.
Championship contender. Oh, he's going to launch it on the inside. And there you have it. All said and done.
Metro trying to the inside. Here we are then. For the lead. For the lead. Does he make a move? Tries. No, can't do it. Gets his nose chopped right off. Not close enough to make a move. I would have think down the inside. What a dive. And does do it. What a dive from such a long way back. That wasn't even an overtaking opportunity, and now he's coming back side by side, down into the right-hander, and they almost touch around the outside, now down the inside. Look at this, side by side. Absolutely bonkers, and this lets Pirelli catch up. Down the inside goes, down the inside. Beautiful move. Does he do it? Pulls it off. Fantastic move then.
It was Gav left.
Oh, Tsuki! Oh my. The most cartoon crash ever. It's a... no improvement for Hiker. Is it going to be one for It Forgets? Yes, but they... Oh my god. Now that is teammates. That is how identical those cars are. Exactly the same time. 120.823.
Down the inside here, he'll try the... Oh, he's on the grass! On the grass! And passes! And tries! Now he's going to be diving on the brake. Down the inside goes Superstar and go. What a move from the Italian!
There's 1 point in it. Van Elk wins by 1 point otherwise. So Razy's got... He's lost it. Oh, Van Elk spun. Van Elk, they both spun. Oh my god. Oh my god. They will both be going mental.
Sweden wins the American Grand Prix. Let's go to third position, Low, as coming through and crossing the line, your new world champion. Hyo is the champion of the world. Metro 666 comes the line and wins the Japanese Grand Prix, and with it the title itself, and slows right down.
Is he gonna? Yeah.
And world champion, Vectro 666, finally. Well, 5 lights, and we're underway, and well, there goes the grid, and they're gone. Something has gone horribly wrong.
Up the inside of Hiker, nice move there. Hiker noticed him and gave the space.
And away we go, and it's a very good start from Rip It Up. Look at him, right down the middle. Vectro also getting away very well there. Sig up the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he is. No, he's not.
Almost made contact.
Almost made contact there.
Get through. I think they've all got through.
Everyone has got through there. Rip It Up going a bit slowly on the inside there. Solid Salita losing the back end, but keeps it.
See, down the inside, that's going to be a easy move if he does get anywhere, but again, Furia breaks very late. Oh!
Here as these two battle away, Skulls going around the outside, later on the brakes. Harry Potter taking the inside line, he's still there. Harry Potter's gone wide. Skull diving all over the place on the track. He's got to be careful of Boston Road. Boston Road's caught right up. Boston Road's going up the inside. Skull's just noticed him. They're side by side, almost.
He's looking around the outside into the last corner, into the clock curve. That's brave. That's very brave.
You think this one's hectic? Oh boy, yeah.
Oh, he tried that inside! And he got to move this time. He's alongside and trying and hurry. And he's trying to the outside. Is Ethan going to give him that? He's going to brake late. Can Andre try a cutback? No, not yet. He'll be brave to go on the lead. Looking for the lead. Vectro takes the lead here. And now red timesing and hits him. Does almost hit him.
I thought he was going to then, but he moved. I think he moved over.
Inside goes DJ. Does he make the move? No, he backs out of it. No, he doesn't. No, he definitely doesn't. Well, down the inside goes Mateo. There we go. Back down the inside. Have that one, Tom. So now he's going to go around the inside again, isn't he? If he goes down the inside again, I'll be bonkered. Nah, you can't. That's going to end the contact. No, it's on side, and then backs out of it. Oh, he runs wide. Oh, he's going to go down the inside. That's Alonso. There was Alonso to Massa. Oh, that's Ferrari around this corner. Here we are then for the Belgium Grand Prix. 5 lights. Go! And Barry gets a fantastic start. Ethan left trolling behind there. And further back, Ethan already going defensive at turn 1. Down the inside comes one of the BMWs now. And almost taps the side of the Mercedes further back. Carnage going on there. And I believe they all get through cleanly at turn 1 this time. Pirelli though, he's going to have a look down the inside. Down the inside goes Pirelli. Covering off goes the Ferrari. Round the outside goes It Forgets. Well, this is bonkers down the back. Well, talk about great racing to end the year.
Again, not good enough there. It's this track.
Oh,
he's going to try on the outside. Runs wide. and it's going to be side by side. It's Salita going to try down the inside. They're going to make contact. They're not.
Vectra's ran off the track. Yes. Vectra did run off the track there, but I don't think
get away with it.
He might just get away with it.
Going to make the move. Yes. Into the lead. Pulls alongside. Pulls ahead the Audi. First of the Ferrari. Now Ronnie is going to be going shallow. Can he go on the outside again? Yes. Yes. Fight. And takes the lead again. And watch out for that McLaren following behind. This is fantastic stuff. Your top three separated by under.
Hello and welcome to GAVRA Racing here in Portugal to start the Algarve Grand Prix. 44 laps remain here with a quick 25-minute qualifying session as all the drivers come out of the garage here. Looks like one of the Lamborghinis nearly had a bit of a contact with, I think that might have been the driver of Phoenix coming out in his BMW as well. No, he's already out on track. But no, everyone's looking very good. We saw the practice session just moments ago, 10 minutes of practice, and that's already the Renault going off. I believe that was Pollux heading off the track for a little adventure. But no, we saw the fastest time set by Cashnet, a 43.7, a 1:43.7, as he looked to be about a second faster than his teammate of Ferrari. But no, everyone looked very tame under the practice sessions, little spins, things like that, just getting the tyres up to temperature. But today I am joined by my dear friend Jordan, also known as JP, and my good man Hio. So boys, introduce yourselves. How are we today?
Good evening, guys. Yeah, I'm alright, to be honest. Looking forward to this one. It's gonna produce a lot of potential overtaking spots, I think. So we're in for a good race.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Also from me, I'm always happy to see these guys racing here. Cash is at the moment in second place in the championship, so he's trying today to attack Ferrari a bit. Other champs is returning as he missed last race, so it should be a quite nice fight for the championship today.
And that is right, definitely a spicy championship. A little bit of a reminder of the championship. Cashnet is leading. He missed out on 2 races, but looking very dominant in the early stages of a Grand Prix. He looks very under the headlights in the end of the Grand Prix. It looks like, especially at Monza, I unfortunately missed out on the end of that race. I did catch it on the live stream. But no, everyone looked like they had an absolute smasher of a race. But here at Algarve, the track's a little bit different than Monza. A lot of twisty and turny bits, using very low gears, as you can see. Hello, champs, getting out of the way for the Lamborghini of Vectra, I believe that was. Was it Matt? It's either or of the 2 Lamborghini boys. It was Matt. As yeah, you can see this little middle straight, a very interesting one. It comes down into a very difficult hairpin, and usually I'd use about 2nd gear, but it seems like Matt doesn't want to get too much wheel spin off exit, and using 1st gear just to get that initial front turn in. Now everyone looks very quick. I think probably a surprise pole might be done by Allo Champs. Obviously he missed out at Monza because he was not actually too sure on what he was doing, but yeah, unfortunately the Porsche driver will be back in this race and will be definitely challenging for the championship. So does anyone have any predictions so far today? Jordan, do you have any predictions for today?
Again, tight, but I think cashing it with the pace from quads and practice, it's got to be your banker, but potentially Alasham could be challenging him with the little bit of practice he's had and the time now in qualifying to adjust with the track.
Yeah, I'd definitely probably have to agree with that. He's a very quick learner, the Swedish man, in the number 77 Porsche, but we see the first time set by, I think that's Ibrich is now set the fastest lap with a 1:44.5. Let's see who can go quicker. Matt sets a 1:46, and it looks like Allo Champs just setting a good banker of 1:48. I personally don't like to go too fast on my first banker lap. It gives me a little bit of confidence on my 2nd lap when I see that I'm 3 to 4 seconds up. Definitely show that in most of my AOR racing. But no, everyone looks to be setting relatively quick lap times, with Cashnet doing his fastest lap from practice, or actually 7/10 faster, by setting a 1:43 flat practically, which is absolutely amazing. But I'm presuming that he's closed some of his brake ducts and some of his wastegates to heat up that engine a bit more, running very, very low on fuel. So he's maybe trying to pull off another Monza. I'm going to have to come into the pit lane very, very late to fill up again, and that was just monumental, seeing those two out front driving the wheels off that Audi. But no, Algarve, a very, very technical circuit, lot like the Spanish Grand Prix. Obviously, it's just below Spain. Well, maybe to the side of Spain, Portugal, but no, it's a really interesting track. I did a couple of laps in the Audi myself, and it was absolutely amazing. So, Jordan, do you reckon that this track poses any threats to the drivers, or any seam of disruption in how they drive?
There is at least one corner I can think of, which is in the middle of the lap where we go very fast right into the 90 right and back down over the crest of the hill. That one's going to catch the drivers out, but I think just because the back end goes light as you come over the right hander, and then it'll go light again as you go into the 90 right. That could cause a bit of spins, and also near the end of the lap with the hairpins, those can be a bit slippy, I think. But other than that, it'll be a good surface for the drivers.
Yeah, I'm definitely have to agree with that, and as I've just searched up on my little tablet here.
May I just add, so at Algarve, the turn 1 is actually a huge threat to every driver, because it's kind of, now you can see with Mario here, who does it quite tame. So he doesn't even try to go on full speed to the outside to use the full track of the to use the full width of the track. There's in the inside there's some bumps, and it always gets you loose, and you kind of lose grip and regain it, and it's always a danger to spin around here. Usually the drivers are even completely messing up their setup for the whole track just to get this turn 1 correctly and nicely. So that's a threat, and also the temperatures are a threat. Lots of drivers were complaining about hot tires after a few laps. So in qualifying it's fine. If you do 2 laps it's still fine, but in the race that might become a problem.
Yeah, I'd definitely probably have to agree with that. Obviously, Midlands Europe, very, very hot conditions, and we should see somewhere in the, I don't know, 32s maybe, on track, or in the air, maybe, I don't know. I have no idea what it is on track, so I can't really add too much on that. Maybe one of my boys might be able to help me out there.
I can tell you Fahrenheit.
Well, I can probably deal with Fahrenheit. I could probably figure it out.
At the moment, the air temperature is 84 degrees Fahrenheit and the track is 117.
Alright, so that means the track's somewhere in the 30s, maybe 40s. I'm a bit unsure about that. I don't know, I'll search it up online. Yeah, thank you for that, Jordan. Obviously, Jordan down in the pit lane today doing our little Ted Kravitz. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of technical issues, but I should also mention that Cashnet has gone faster by over a tenth now to set a 1:42.9. He's done that about 2 laps ago, so that Audi looking very, very quick in these early stages of Grand Prix, obviously, of qualifying, sorry. Obviously, with 16 minutes remaining, the drivers will start to do a little bit of setup changes. We'll start to kind of dial into this qualifying session and try and eke out that most amount of performance. As you can see just how heavily they're braking into turn 6. I think I'm going to try and pronounce it, but I'm going to have a crack. I believe it's Torre Vip, but I have no idea whatsoever. I know this one, I think it's Craig Jones. So yeah, most of these turns are in Spanish, so I have no idea how to say them. So if you are Spanish, maybe you can help us out, or Portuguese, either or, really. But yeah, every driver looks to. Yeah, I know. I figured it out halfway through. I was like, oh no. But yeah, every driver looks to be very competitive right now. Especially Cashnet going over 5/10 quicker than his teammate of Ferrelli. We should probably have a little look down the board for now. So we have Ferrelli in P2 with a 1:43.4. We have Flip Flip in the Nissan, obviously very quick in that car. I just can't seem to hook that Nissan up. But a 1:44.2 for him. Alu Champs in the V6 Porsche, setting a 1:44.4. Ibridge in the Ferrari 488, setting a 1:44.5, just a 10th below. Alu Champs with Fenati in that beautiful Renault, setting a 1:45.3. That car is apparently very, very stable. Then we have Vectro with a 1:45.4. Then we have obviously Alu Champs' teammate is that Porsche's once again destroyed up, a 1:45.7. 2 seconds behind the leader. Then we have F7C in the other Nissan, setting a 1:45.7, same as FSS, practically just over, just under by a little bit. And then we have Mayo in the other Ferrari, splitting his teammate by 5 positions, setting a 1:45.9. Will he go faster? That's the question. Thinking that this might be his outlet app. He seems to be running that rev limiter very, very high. But no, he doesn't go faster. Flyboy setting a 1:45.9, just a while off Mayo as well. Matt in the other Lamborghini, will he go faster? And I'm looking for the line, there it is. No, he doesn't go faster. I think this is all their out laps. Getting their mid-stage qualifying laps done, and he runs very wide as Hio was talking about. Those bumps on the inside of the track can be very threatening and unsettle the car, as we did see in practice. I think one of the Renaults spun there. But no, he sets a 1:46.1 with Pete in the Cadillac, going wide and into the gravel. Obviously, this track has a lot of runoff area, so it's very handy for the drivers to not hit the wall. Pete setting a 1:46.4 with Phoenix in the BMW M3 setting 1:47. And then we head down to Pollux, setting a 2-minute 1, which isn't exactly great. But we'll move back up the board to look at some of the quicker drivers, with Ibridge coming now. As we just quickly take a look at the highlights for the drivers over this qualifying, we'll quickly take a look at that, and we'll come back to you shortly. Rev their engines, getting ready for the start of the Monza Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. Looks like Cashnet got the good start there as they all fumbled down to the Rettifilio. What can everyone do? Hopefully there's no incidents. Ferrelli looked like to get the slow start there. Cashnet up into P1 now. They head side by side. Everyone being very tame. Looked like one of the Lamborghinis went up the inside there. And Cashnet, the man to get out there, as it looks like maybe there was a little bit of an incident. No, Flip and Vector run side by side, now nearly 3 wide down the Curve Grande, down now into the Regina. And Cashnet doing very well, and it looks like one of the Renaults went very wide. They're going to go side by side now. Vector up into P3 now onto the podium, looking very, very good there off the start from 5th to 3rd. Well done to Vector and the Lamborghini. Now the Nissan and Fenati go side by side, and Fenati's been pushed out there in the Renault. Now what can the Nissan of Flip do as they head down now to Parabolica? 2 seconds to the leader on lap 1 here, and it looks like everyone's got through the first lap quite tamely. Matt does run a little bit wide there. This might give Ibridge the opportunity to get past. We're going to go back to the outside camera. They're going to head side by side down into the Ascari chicane. What can they do? Ibridge heads in front of Matt. Matt was the smart man to go off the throttle there. You can see that he lifted off a little bit into the braking zone, and didn't give too much of a fight. Maybe just let Ibridge go through, sit behind him, save a bit of fuel, and see if you can push a little bit faster as they all head down now to Parabolica. So, boys, what do we think of that start? That was absolutely hectic.
Clean start from everybody. and it was only on lap 2 we saw the first signs of contact.
I'm going to have to interrupt you there as we see 3 wide. Sorry to interrupt you there, David, but we see 3 wide momentarily there, and Ibrich looks like to have defended his position there as the Lamborghini looking very, not very strong here. I was about to say very strong, but it looks like that Porsche is starting to eat him up a little bit. That V6 Porsche against the V10 Ferrari power, Lamborghini power here, as Vector still looking pretty tame to the Nissan behind him of Flip Flip. No, Flip Flip's going to go to the outside, the inside, not the outside. Flip Flip maybe looks for an inside move. No, he doesn't. Vector cuts him off very well, slows her down, puts her down into first there to block off any attack from Flip Flip. Ooh, that's very, very interesting.
He's missed his braking point, gone straight up down the access road.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to let Flip come through.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to cost Vectro. I'm sorry I missed out on that.
He's had a few instances this season, Vectro, where he's quick. He's got good pace, but he does make mistakes.
Flip trying to lose the slipstream here, and trying to get out of some sort of gap onto Vectro there, but. Now the question, Vector's gone wide. Oh, really wide, but he hasn't lost at least too much time. That was an absolute save and a half. Waiting for an opportunity. Looks like FSS might go for the dive. He does on the young Mayo driver, the Italian, and they make a little bit of contact there. And I don't think that Mayo saw him in the mirrors.
Yeah, if that's anyone's fault, it's Mayo's.
They're now going to go side by side into the Retafilio. What's going to go on here? There's a little bit of contact on the front end. Yeah, he does have it done. FFS in the Porsche, obviously teammate to F7, who made a very good start as well. Another about 6 seconds. Oh no, FFS Maybe he let the 2 through there, or I think that might have been under braking though. I think that was a problem for him.
About race, it's quite a fun race to watch actually. Yeah, like this. It's close-up racing, bit of contact here, but it's really nice. I think this track really offers a lot of opportunities to overtake after long straights into the corners.
FFSU in the Porsche there, as he's going to try and get the run on Pete. Now he does get the run. Are they going to go 3 wide into Ascari? They definitely are. No, it looks like maybe Mayo's got the position there back on Pete, and it looks like that Porsche. That was amazing to get 2 cars in one corner, or in a sequence of corners really. That was absolutely amazing by the Porsche driver. But what can everyone do now, as it looks like they might go 2 wide, the Ferrari and Pete. They're definitely in a little bit of a gaggle of cars now as they all head through Parabolica. Pete's got the position back from Mayo. Mayo down to P11. They go around Parabolica. What can Pete do now? He's on the inside line. He'll have the better traction out of the corner. Not too many marbles on the inside of the track there. Looks like the Ferrari going to get involved as well, and that Nissan in the rear of Hussa. Hussa may be trying to go for a little bit of position here. I should probably switch to Mayo's camera now, and they're going to head 3 wide into the Retafilio. What can they do? Looks like Hussa heads to the inside. It's very close. No, that was Pete heading to the inside. Hussa's made position on the 2 of Mayo and Pete. Pete down now to P12 from P9. That is just absolutely amazing, especially by FFS.
Yeah, we did see was it Pete taking Rich Mayo?
It was Pete taking Mayo. One of the Ferraris is Hussa. Interesting to see a position taken from the Nissan driver. Hussa doesn't catch me as maybe the fastest driver in this league, but he's definitely got past Mayo, he's a strong midfield runner. Cashnet now pulling still a 2-second gap from Ferrelli to Cashnet. Cashnet looking very low on the fuel there, so maybe he is looking to maybe make a pit stop here. Yeah, definitely Vectors all over the rear end of Mayo here. They're going to head side by side up to the Ascari chicane. What can they do? Vector's engine's very, very hot, I should also mention, and Mayo smartly just backs out of that one. He knows he's not fighting him. He knows he can probably get a pretty good tow off the back of that Lamborghini. Well, Ferrelli is now into the pit lane, and Now it's the question, what's his teammate going to do? Because this could play out for the championship.
Ferrelli's on his way to Parabolica. It's going to be a very short stop though. Exiting now. Ferrelli exiting Parabolica. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. It'll come down to how quickly Cash In It can get back up to speed. He's exiting the pits now. The BMW Playboy is going to just about get in the way. Is he going to get out of the way? He will. Ferrelli coming up behind, dives past the Audi, but it is as you were. It certainly is. Ferrelli, is he going to go for it? He's on the outside. Cash In It holding it to the inside. On the brakes. Oh, he just couldn't quite keep it, but he's going to try around the inside, and no. Cash In It holds the position, so despite what I was saying, it looks like these two are going to battle for this epic last lap from these two Audis. Can Ferrelli find the way past? He certainly had a go into turn 1, but well defended by Cash In It. Can he get him on the brakes into Curva Grande? No, he's going to hold. Now it's all about the run that Ferrelli can get down the back straight. Cash was slow in the first part of Ascari, but he seemed to be quite quick out. But Cash In It's got the run now. Can he get him into Parabolica? What a fantastic finish after 43 laps. These two cars absolutely neck and neck into Parabolica. Cash has lost the place, but Ferrelli's gone wide at Parabolica. And the side-by-side, they're lagging. We don't really know what's going on as they come to the line. Who's it going to be? Ferrelli's in front. And it looks like Ferrelli's got it at the line to win here in Monza. What a fantastic race that was.
Hello and welcome back to Portugal once again as we come back from the Monza highlights. Once again, myself getting it wrong and saying that it was qualifying highlights, but no, we're back here in Portugal. Obviously, Monza, a cracker of a race, an absolute fight for the podium from the top two of Cash In It and Ferrelli. And in the meantime, Ferrelli has been able to improve an absolutely monumental amount, gaining 7 tenths onto his teammate, and now only 98,000 seconds away from his teammate, so from Cash In It. And as Jordan and I were talking about just while you guys were watching the highlights, we were saying that it's going to be a real fight for the podium now with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. This will be where the drivers start to come out of the pit lane, so you'll see that they're all starting to push now, and I think Ferrelli's going to try and get an early lap in, heating up the brakes, heating up the tyres, and what is he going to be able to do is his teammate Cash In It still once again out on his lap, and I think this is his flying lap now, so it'll be very interesting to see what he's going to be able to do, as Ferrelli, I believe, is going to start his lap now, as I think he's coming through turn 14. No, he's not. I think he's just waiting for the opportune moment to get going here, heating up the brakes, heating up the tyres. Here he goes. Here he lets that Audi loose, and he's absolutely flying down to turn 1. What is he going to be able to do as he heats up those rear tyres, really getting the traction down? 3 litres of fuel remaining. He's running it a little bit on the edge. I'd be running with about nearly 4 litres, I think. After Monza, once again, I'm going to go back to that so many times this race, but down into turn 1, shifting down into 3rd there, very late downshift from 6th to 3rd, running it on the rev limit, and now down to 2nd, now down to 1st, actually. Very hard to get the nose turned in. Once again, we're coming out into turn 3, I believe now. Up the gears onto the long straight, sorry, turn 4 that was, now down into the hairpin. And he's really starting to push the track limits now, as you can see, straight down into 1st, getting the nose turned in. Once again, his team Cash In It's gone into the pit lane, so it means that his qualifying should be over for now. Will Ferrelli be able to improve? He probably could go for another lap if he decides to back out of it now, but he's going to be definitely playing it on the limits with these tyres, with the traction, with the speed he has. He's now coming down to, I believe this is turn 11 maybe? Maybe it's turn 10. As once again the undulation change in this track is so difficult over the curves, over the AstroTurf, down the big long hill into 12 I think it is, maybe 13, but oh no, and he's screwed it. He's spun it, pushing too hard, and that's all traction gone in the rear tyres as we now take a look at Allo Champs. And that was just absolutely detrimental for Pirelli. I felt like he could have got pole there, and he just screwed it up monumentally. Jordan, what do you think about that?
Very unlucky, to be honest. Problem is that turn 12 is uphill, and you touch the curb, the car doesn't like it. It just puts the rear end out of its misery sometimes, which happened to Ferrari, and they're going to have to watch out for that in the race. They don't want to be doing that if they're in a good position, that's for sure.
Yes, definitely, I'd have to agree with that. Allo Champs does go quicker, isn't able to get out of P5, however, the Renault still now on his lap. Now he's quite heavy on fuel as well, as we have finished qualifying, so now we're just in the drivers finishing their laps. Looks like Fenati does have a little bit of damage to that Renault. I think this might actually... Yeah. So, maybe some sort of steering, suspension, or even aerodynamic damage. It looks like there's a little bit of damage to the front end of his car. This definitely is. I don't think it's supposed to be bent like that. Now, once again, down the hill, I think that might have invalidated his lap as well, trying to push the limits. And yes, it has. So now we turn to the Lamborghini of Matt, who, excuse me, I don't think he is actually on his lap. No, he's not. He's finished. We look to Vector now, who still might be on his lap. He is. Is he going to be able to come over the line and improve? Yes, he does. He outscores his teammate there by well over 3 to 4 tenths. I think that is, maybe it's 6. I don't even know. Mayo, I think he's finished his lap as well. So our final grid today is Cashnit in P1. Setting the good times here. I'll bring up the timings so you can see Cashnit setting the time. He did 12 laps, so that'll be very interesting. That's about I don't know, a fifth of the Grand Prix or so. Obviously 44 laps coming to us today. I'll actually take this screen off and we can look at some cars going around the track, because that's what you're here for. But no, yes, Cashnit setting the time of a 1:42.5. Looking very, very good. Then setting the second place time of Pirelli, a 1:42.6. So just over 9 thousandths as we finish qualifying here. And this is our final grid rundown. So Cashnit P1 setting the best time of 1:42.5. Pirelli in second. Ibrich in third, outscoring Flip Flip. An amazing drive from the Italian in his Ferrari, setting a 1:43.7. Flip Flip, a 1:43.9. Allo Champs is back. The Swede's back on fire once again, a 1:44.1 for him. His teammate, I don't know if his teammate's in here, actually. Yes, he is. He's down the field, though. So we'll get to him very shortly. We have F7C setting at the good time, the Austrian looking very good of a 1:44.5. Then we have Fenati, 1:44.6. Then we have the Lamborghini of Vectro setting a 1:44.8. And I wasn't able to see the rest of the times. So yeah, that's our grid for now to the top 10. Then we have Mayo, Pollux, then FSU. Then we have Flyboy, Pete, Phoenix, and obviously JP, who will retire very shortly there in the Bentley. So yeah, this start's going to be an interesting one, boys. What do we think of it? Do you reckon anyone's going to be able to absolutely make a Max Verstappen type of start and get the grip off the line? Obviously a little cloudy here today. No rain expected, however. But no, everyone looks very tame. Jordan, do you reckon anyone's going to be able to make that start?
I think Ibridges could be a bit of a dark horse off the line, but I think Flip Flip might have a bit of pace into turn 1 there. The pace of that Nissan and the way it grips up and goes, if you get it right, it could be a real challenge for the Audis into turn 1.
Yes, I'd definitely have to agree with that as we look up to the skies here. A little bit dark and cloudy, so it looks like... Is that actually a little bit of rain? I don't know. Actually, no, I think that's just a car glitching a little bit. But that's alright. So as we see the drivers on the grid here on the onboard camera from Ibridge, we'll look further down the field onto Fenati. It's a long way up to P1 from P7 there. Obviously down the field a little bit. Got the man of Allo Champs. That exhaust just sitting right in front of that Renault, and obviously Matt and Vectro, the two Audis, looking very good. Everyone looks quite heavy on fuel. I don't know if that's heavy on fuel. I haven't done too much practice around this lap. Yeah, looks like Cashnet's going a little bit lighter than fuel on the two Audis. We saw that didn't go too well. Sorry, on the two Lamborghinis. We saw that didn't go too well in Monza, as we just take a look at a couple of fuel loads.
I think it's worth noting the temperature is actually less than it was in qualifying, so that will change the characteristics of the car.
Yes, definitely, as we get ready to go to 5 red lights here in Portugal, in Algarve. It's green lights, and away we go. Cashnet looks to get a good start there. Ferrelli, heading to the middle of the track now, down to the outside of the track, blocking off any advantages as we look down the field now. Everyone looking like to get through their time. Ibridge has lost his place to Allo Champs and Flip, not very good. Everyone getting through there. The Lamborghini of Vectro having a little fight with Fenati, I believe that was. Everyone looking to get there very nicely, though Vectro's run wide. Will that give the opportunity to anyone else as we look down the field? And I think that is Flyboy off. No, it's not. That's F7 off, which is absolutely detrimental. I think they're going to go too wide nearly down into turn 1. The two BMWs look to get very, very close there, and I think that, yeah, that was one of the Nissans getting spun off, which was absolutely terrible. But Cashnet getting a beautiful start there over Ferrelli, and like you, I think we might have commentated cursed Ibridge, because he's down into 5th place now, sitting right behind that Nissan, and it looks like that Nissan might have a little bit of damage, and I thought he spun there for a second. No, that's just my eyes following the car too quickly. But no, that was F7 round, which is, and I think that's might be one of the Lamborghinis' round as well. Yes, that is. That's the Lamborghini of Vectro, who's managed to rejoin the track quite dangerously a little bit there over the racing line. But no, Vectro's moved down to P11 now. So that was absolutely terrible for the Nissan and the Lamborghini, maybe going a bit deep into the corner. Fenati looking very good now, very close to Matt, I think that it was. Yeah, that is. So Matt trying to gain position on Fenati as we come over the line to start lap 2 now. Cashnet still maintaining his lead, and looks like he's just going to start pulling it out now and really showing what that Audi's made of. Obviously going still lighter on fuel than everyone else as we look down the field. Allo Champs up into P3 from P5. An amazing start from the Porsche. He went out wide and just dove it up the outside of the this and the Ferrari. And I think Ibridge had a problem there. As we see Pollux coming into the pit lane, I think that might be damage to the front end of the car. Definitely is. He's changing tyres now. Ibridge is definitely looking for a move on Flip. He's got the move done. They're going to head side by side. What are they going to be able to do? Are they still side by side? Yes, they are. This is going to be absolutely close, and it looks like Ibridge has got the position. No, the Nissan fancies the look around the outside for a bit there. Flip not getting the position done. Ibridge taking it and saying it's like taking candy from a baby into that tight hairpin. You can either go the inside, outside, upside, downside, and you will definitely find a position through there if you're tame and you're focused. But Allo Chance looks like not to get a great exit out of, I think that's turn 12, or maybe it's turn 11. As yeah, we should probably mention that Pollux did go into the pit lane there. Did get a change of tyres. Vectro managed to move up from the field 2 places there on Allo Chance's teammate in the other Porsche. Obviously, I'll be looking at Ferrelli through that corner that Vectro just went through. Very tame through that corner. You got to be get on the power too early, the car's going to go around. Get on the power too late, and you're just going to be slow on that little straight you've got there. No, everyone looking to be very tame, as it looks like maybe the Renault of Fenati's going to have a look, as my camera does something weird for a minute there. He's got his lights on. Maybe he's saying, let me through. Maybe it was an illegal overtake. Maybe he just runs with his lights on. But no, he did have a little bit of a look there. He went to the outside, then back into the inside. But no, it looks like that first lap was absolutely mental. Jordan, what do you think of that lap?
Some really close racing. Unlucky for F7C. He just came out of turn 3, I think he was. Just got on the curb a little bit, lit the wheels up, and I think he actually went into the side of Pollux, which is hence the reason he was in the pit lane. I think he might have hit him.
Oh, it's now Fenati and the Lamborghini. Fenati's going to be sniffing right up the rear end of that Italian Lamborghini, and he's right up there, and it looks like maybe he might get the move on the straight. I'd wait until the straight, get that straight line speed on that Lamborghini in the slipstream. Oh, he's really close. God damn, that's close. I don't know how he...
Brilliant position here. He could take the pair of them on the main straight.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well, as it looks like one of the Lamborghinis has gone wide. He definitely does. Yeah, that is Matt, as it looks like Mayo's got the position done as well, and that is now going to give Vectro a good chance to maybe have a little bit of a sniff on his teammate as well. But now, that was Fenati doing a beautiful job, just kind of forced an error from Matt, and Matt said, oh, alright then, I'll see how we go then, and Matt just running wide onto the AstroTurf and just not getting the grip once again and falling out.
That corner, one of the ones I picked pre-race for a little bit of mishaps because it's over the crest, you can't see the apex, very easy to miss your braking point, but Matt is looking at getting past Mayo there, I think.
Yeah, definitely he is going to be looking to get past him. Obviously that Ferrari will hold him up a little bit to try and attack the Renault. Now the Renault's got a little bit of clean air, obviously around about 4 to 5 seconds to flip, which is a huge gap in the first 4 laps. Obviously 40 laps remaining now, and you just got to start to set into the Grand Prix now, and start to slowly nurse your tyres and nurse your fuel a little bit, because you don't want to be using too much of that. I'm presuming that we should expect to see a pit for fresh rubber and more fuel. I'm not sure, but maybe my two boys could fill me in on that, as we should probably take a look at the leaders here of Cashnet and Pirelli, coming already up to a lap car of Pollux in the Renault. So maybe, oh god, for Cashnet's already pulled out a 3-second gap to Pirelli, and that's just absolutely huge to his teammate. Which is not necessarily great, as once again the Nissan of Flip maybe could have a look on Ibrich later in the Grand Prix, but I've got everyone lighting up on my screen as now Pollux is into the pit lane again, maybe just getting out of the way of everyone else and taking another set of fresh rubber. But it's going to allow everyone to lap him now, and it's really going to...
the Renault coming down the main straight, he could have a look into turn 1 if he's got the slipstream.
Yeah, definitely could have a look into turn 1, but you don't want to go to the inside of that corner because of how bumpy it is, and you could unset the car. As you see, the suspension definitely working on that Ferrari, and maybe he's going to dive it up. No, he's not. He definitely did have a look there.
Good run out.
Yeah, definitely good run. And I think that was Matt going wide there and letting his teammate through. Yes, it is. We're going to stay with Mayo and Fenati once again, as they... Oh, he could have a look. No, he doesn't. He definitely went to the inside, taking a different racing line to Fenati. Still remains quite close. Excuse me, only separated by about 10.
Very clever stuff that from Mayo, because he forced Fenati to keep the wide line, so he didn't get any advantage out of the corner. Normally you try and move like that and go really tight, you normally lose time coming out, but he's forced the Renault to keep the wide line, so he's not lost any time, so he can keep attacking throughout the lap. Very good driving there.
Yes, that's very, very smart driving. As yes, Mayo, oh, that was the two Lamborghinis maybe having a little bit of a look there, as we switch to FSU in the Porsche. We're going to go back to Mayo now. But no, I should probably mention that Vectro got past Matt. Looks like Vectro might be the #1 driver. And Matt's actually, I think Matt spun. Yes, yeah, Matt did. I did speak about that corner, as it just catches the drivers out, even with traction control like Matt's using. And it's just, it's a very difficult corner to get right, as the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far is a 1:44 set by Cashnet here on lap 6. As all the drivers probably starting to set in now. Gordon, do you reckon this is where mistakes start to happen? As I have a little bit of a yawn. Do you reckon this is where mistakes start to happen? As Mayo definitely got very, very close. Maybe he's going to go around the outside. No, he isn't. maybe on the inside. But no, I'll turn the question back to you, Jordan. Do you reckon this is where mistakes do start to happen?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, because this should be the time where all the drivers have a bit of a calm down period now. Everyone's a little bit more spread out. I think.
Well, I tell you someone who isn't calming down, Mayo. Yeah, he's gone up the inside.
He has got that beautifully through there.
No way that Fenati's coming back to that, and maybe he might even have a look. No, he's not. He's not going to have a look. But going back to your question that you are answering, sorry to interrupt there. But no, it looked like, yeah, that was an amazing battle once again.
It's a beautiful move again from Mayo. Normally when you do that, you've got to go careful for the switchback, but again, it's same as High Bridges on flip earlier. He forced him very surprisingly, so it meant that Renault had no choice of getting back out in that one. But back to your question, yeah, I think this time should be more calming down and just focusing on getting consistency, not locking the tyres up, because that can ruin your race straight away if you got to come in the pits just for a flat spot. But I think as we get to the closing stages, when everyone closes back up again, hopefully that's when it gets more pressure.
Yeah, definitely. That is when it will start to. Get more pressure as the.
On the main straight as well.
Definitely, he will have a look. He's right up the exhaust gas of that Renault. Obviously, you can see.
Turn one, no?
Yeah, I don't think anyone will. Oh no, Fenati goes wide, and yeah, that's just taking once again candy from a baby, and Fenati's got really nothing to fight back. Maybe he will get the run onto the straight, and maybe he will try and snag the position from Fenati, as Phoenix is now into the pit lane. Should probably mention as he moves down the field. I think he's just coming in for a change of tyres, maybe some more fuel. If I was him, I'd be filling up on some more fuel. Once again, this midfield fight, obviously in GAVRA Racing, very tense. Obviously the front now, Cashinet's pulled out 6 seconds since the last time we spoke about him, as Vectro drifting his Lamborghini through the corners, over the hill, and down into, I think it's turn 13 or it's turn 12. I'll never know. Once again, I don't even think that's near turn 13 or 12. No, definitely he's heating up those rear tires, and that's definitely how you get some heat into him. It's definitely how you rip them off the rim as well. But no, Vectro doing a very interesting job there. Do you reckon that was driver error, or was that some sort of maybe tyre wear?
I wouldn't have thought any tyre wear at this stage would come into effect that early. It's very surprising you'd have had to burn the tyres out pretty fast. I think it was more him trying to get away from the Renault, ready for this main straight, because if you push it, the car will break. And I think that's exactly what happened there. He's trying to get away from Fenati there, not quite working.
But I think it's in some combination with the tire heating, which is quite strong here. Also with the very high temperatures.
Yes, that is Fenati round in the Renault, and like Heo was saying, you get these cars wrong, and you're definitely under pressure. Now Matt may even have the look with Fenati getting overheated tyres. No, Matt's. Oh, yeah, that was definitely a wiggle. Yeah, tyres are definitely heating up now. So we should see maybe pit stops start to happen around maybe lap 20 or so. But for these drivers, if they're driving like they are, maybe even lap 10, 2 laps from now. But no, very interesting to see the drivers pushing the absolute limit here. As we actually take a further look up the field, looks like iBridge managed to stay here in P4, doing very well. Obviously qualified in P3, lost the position to Allo Champs, and it looks like he's maybe trying to close up that gap, running a little less fuel than Allo Champs, I believe. No, they're running about the same fuel. But no, they're definitely pushing the limits, these two, the Porsche and the Ferrari. The Ferrari and the Porsche, a lifelong battle, as Matt has a look up the inside of Fenati, maybe trying to go around the outside. He did go right round the outside, and that was once again beautifully done by the Lamborghini driver, showing his pace, showing his speed, and definitely showing it on Fenati there in the Renault. Now Fenati might even have a look down into turn 1. We don't know. And really, will Fenati have the speed on the Porsche, on the Renault? Sorry, on the Renault. On the Lamborghini. There we go. Finally got it right. Maybe he does. No, he didn't. He definitely stayed on the rear end there. And I wouldn't want to be doing that into turn 1. A heavy braking zone. Very difficult on the brakes. And obviously you can overheat the front tyres. And that'll give you no turn in. It'll actually give you a little bit of understeer. Definitely lose grip.
Very risky strategy, but it can pay off if you can feel your opponent's mirrors with your car. Could force the error, but looks like Matty was a bit too wise for it.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I'll go back to Matt, because it's a little bit of an interesting battle. But I should probably mention that we have a Ferrari in P4 and P6. The 2 Ferrari boys doing very, very well there. And obviously the 2 Audi boys, once again, now a 7-second gap from Cashnet to Pirelli. So that's absolutely huge as the field starts to calm down here on lap 9. Obviously coming into our double digits now. And Matt's looking very wide through there once again over the AstroTurf. And a second gap behind him to Fenati. And 2 seconds to FSU, who's been able to move up the... He's a quiet achiever, isn't he, FSU? Sorry,
He's played
FFC.
his time very well. I must admit, FSU. He played his time really well and just capitalised on everyone else's mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's probably the main thing in racing. Just, you know, play it safe, and the race will come to you if you're pushing hard enough. It's definitely it's a very interesting time of the Grand Prix. This is when the drivers will start to be pushing, start to be maybe making some mistakes, and maybe even starting to calm down even a little bit and just start to think about their future in the Grand Prix. Obviously now 34 laps remaining, so still quite some time left in the Grand Prix, but it is a pretty long...
Pollux is off. Pollux is off.
Oh.
And now retired as well.
Yep. I mean, when you're off and you're 2 minutes behind, I mean, you got to start thinking about. I've never retired from a Grand Prix unless I've crashed, quite heavily as well, like lost a wheel or something like that. I always say in league racing and races like this, you never know what's going to happen. You never know if someone else is going to do the same as you, and you can maybe snag that extra position. So yeah, if I was Pollux, I would have just kept racing. You know, get the experience. And keep pushing it. No need. You're not wearing anything from the cars. The cars all repair each other at the end of the Grand Prix. So yeah, it's definitely a very dumb thing to do. Personally, I don't think it's actually that too smart. It's no, everyone looks to be quite calm now on lap 11. So it looks like Cashnet's looking at about a second's gap each lap, and now Vectro's right on the rear end of Mayo there in the Ferrari, but everyone looking very, very tame. Maybe not Vectro. Maybe Vectro's looking for the position. He's really right up the rear end. Will he go for the move?
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Matt is under pressure from the Renault coming down the main straight. I think he's not quite done it. No. Just at the
no, he hasn't been able to. He hasn't been able to do it, but he has gone wide. Oh, that was going to be an aeroplane crash, really. That could have been very bad if Fenati had gone up the inside there and Matt had turned in. That would have not been very good. But
oh, Mayo almost went round there on the hairpin in the middle of the lap.
Yeah, that was down into turn 1. Vectro did make the move there. Yeah, the 2 Lamborghini boys look to be quite on fire for right now, and trying to push as hard as possible.
As well, it's on race control. That flip might have a penalty upon him.
Yeah,
so
it looks like he might.
He's
yeah, I'm thinking.
Red number, which normally indicates a penalty for a driver for infringing the track limits.
Oh yeah, and that's May also going very slow over the hill as well, so not necessarily great. Maybe the Ferrari has some sort of damage to his car, but we'll never know. Matt and Fanati once again very close, under or nearly under a second between them, as Fanati just can't get the power down. Obviously we allow traction control and ABS for the drivers. Some of them choose not to use it, some of them do choose to use it, depending on what circuit it is. Some circuits are very difficult without traction control, like Algarve. This circuit here, very different to most other circuits, twisty and tiny, but you got some good straights as well. So no, we should probably move up the field once again. The I-Bridge closed into Alochamps very well by about a second. He was under a second behind, but now Flip Flip's starting to lose. Okay, so I'm thinking of that time penalty is starting to make a little bit of a personal impact.
I would have thought a time penalty would have been around 3 seconds is a normal penalty for not slowing down for the track limits. So at the moment it's just about in front of Vectro, but it won't be long, I think, before Vectro's within that time window.
Yeah, definitely won't be long until Vectro is going to be starting to push and starting to maybe close up. As it looks like I-Bridge. I have a very 6:44 in the morning yawn here on lap 12. So yeah, it looks like I-Bridge definitely in that Ferrari is closing up to Alochamps, as I think that's just a lap car in front of him. Yeah, 17 seconds to, 7 seconds from Alochamps to Ferrari. So if I was Ferrari and I was I-Bridge, if I was Alochamps and I was I-Bridge, I'd definitely be trying to catch Ferrari a bit, but we're on lap 13. Looks like everyone is definitely trying to get the best of position, and yeah, we can only hope. A little bit of a wiggle from Alochamps there. It's I-Bridge definitely trying to close up under a second's gap now, or sorry, under 5/10 of a gap now, as I-Bridge definitely trying to close up to the rear end of Alochamps. And Gordon, do you reckon I-Bridge might be looking for the position, or is just staying behind Alochamps for a bit of a tow down the straight and a bit of protection through some corners?
It's hard to tell. I think he's playing the long game at the moment, not desperately going for any move. And I think he'll only go for it if it's going to be a certain done deal. But other than that, I think he will be staying behind and just waiting for the door to open rather than trying to force it. That's for sure.
Sorry, I just heard someone go off, so I thought that someone might have gone around. I looked down the field for a bit because in front of Alochamps there's no longer a lap car, but you can definitely see the curvature of the track here, as I think someone's left, but that's alright. Yeah, Flyboy, I think that was the person who did spin. Once again reinforcing my fact, you never know what's going to happen in league race. You never know if you can maybe snag that extra position. But yeah, you can definitely see on how difficult this track is. It's actually really wide. I didn't expect it to be this wide, especially through turn 14, I think it is. It's really wide, as you can just see on how fast I-Bridge is going and trying to catch up to the Alochamps. We can see some of those bumps there, yeah, where those cones are. You can definitely see those bumps, as now it looks like maybe the Porsche might have been under attack there from the Ferrari. Definitely got very close through that corner. I think that's just the nature of the corner though, or it could have been a problem from Alochamps, but we never know really. That
I-Bridge is slowing for track infringements, I believe. He's lost a lot of time there.
Yeah, definitely. He's gone very deep into the corner as well, and that's now going to be nearly over 2 seconds gap to Alochamps. No, I don't think that BMW retired. I think it just got out of the way, which was very smart from Phoenix, I believe that was. But no, it looks like everyone very tame under the gun, and not being too much snap. Obviously, we started with 15. We've lost 3. It's everyone looking very good. excuse me, in the stage of this Grand Prix. You reckon Cashnet's speed 10 seconds over Pirelli? Do you reckon Pirelli's maybe backing off saving fuel and just letting Cashnet go? Or is maybe doing some sort of other tactic?
I don't think anyone's going to keep it with Cashnet today. I mean, I've just been having a look through the final corner where we're going over the crest, and Cashnet is so much faster through it. He's got the car turning in. He's at least half throttle over the crest and back to the full throttle immediately. Everyone else, like for instance, Pirelli's going down to quarter throttle before he goes back on, and people like Algarve and Butchers are going almost off throttle down it before they get back on. So I think whatever game plan Pirelli's got is not going to work today. Cashnet is got the car hooked right up for Algarve.
Yeah, he's definitely got the car definitely hooked up into a manner that he's going to be able to push as hard as possible, and I guess that's the main thing around a circuit. You want to be able to have confidence in the car and be able to push it as quickly and as hard as possible, and be able to get those critical extra tenths, extra even seconds on another driver, as we saw Cashnet be able to do it very easily, very quickly, and without too much of a hassle.
Around that final corner, you can be even half throttle more than everyone through that final corner. That advantage lasts all the way down that main straight. You've got an extra couple of miles an hour down the whole of the main straight for the braking zone. That's how big it can be around here, and that is a lot of time down that main straight if you're a couple of miles an hour down.
Yeah, it's definitely a hell of a lot of time, as iBridge definitely pushing the track limits there, going over some of the curbs as well, but everyone's still looking very, very good as we move down the board a little bit. Taking a look at Matt. Matt's got a little bit of side pod damage. Do you reckon that might be internal, or could that be external just?
I think that's mainly external stuff. He might have a percent of damage on it internally, but I would suggest not a lot from looking at that.
Yeah, it doesn't look necessarily a huge amount, but maybe it could be performance impacting. We don't know. Maybe that's why Matt has started to fall off the pace a little bit. So it looks like he's a couple of seconds behind the closest car he is to there, and it looks like he ran a little wide as well. But we don't know. You know, if we had the information, we could give it to you, but unfortunately, it doesn't look too bad for Matt, and it looks like he's just able to push. Hello, Chance, once again in that Porsche, doing very well with that V6 compared to the V8 of the Ferrari just behind him. But everyone seems to be getting relatively good speeds along the straight. Looks like they're able to defend. I'm thinking that Renault's a little bit down on speed. And yeah, do you reckon that Renault is down on speed, or is it kind of a compromise because it's so stable? Is it a compromise that it can run lower wing and maybe even gain speed?
I'm going to be honest, I don't think that Renault is as stable as everyone thinks it is. I'm going to be honest, because going through the corners, it was almost like a sitting duck compared to other people. So, it's, yeah, I actually think it's probably quite quick down the straight, and I think they've probably taken too much wing off if it's that stable. It didn't look very nice through the corners when it's being overtaken, I must admit.
I don't know. That might be a part of the driver, though. That could be a driver problem, that he's just not able to handle the car. I know from me driving a McLaren Honda in F1 2017, that car is very stable, and I'm able to push the limits even with low wing, running around tracks like Monaco with 9.8 wing, and able to push the car very, very well with confidence and speed.
There are no more Renaults running in the race.
Oh no, all the Renaults have gone. I think, yeah, Fanati has gone as well, so we've lost him.
He's also retired.
Yeah, why do you reckon Fanati's retired? Is maybe some sort of technical problem?
I would have thought so, because he was in a really good tight battle, so I can only assume it was potentially a technical issue on his end.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can presume as well. As yeah, Yeah, everyone looks to still be setting pretty good sector times. I should probably point out that Aloe Chance did have a little bit of a run over the curbs. Was able to push it pretty damn hard through some of the corners. That Porsche once again, like the Renault, very stable, got a good turn in, and got relatively good straight line speed. So yeah, everyone looking very, very good for now. Sorry about that, just had to have a glass of water, lubricating my voice. But no, yeah, here on lap 17, we should probably move up the field to take a look at Cashnet, and once again, he's coming up to lap cars now. I think that's F7C that he's coming up to. And he's in a league of his own now, 9 seconds or even 10 seconds in front of his teammate, and when you're that far in front, do you reckon you start to back off, or are you still pushing the limit?
Depends on the driver, but whenever I tend to drive, I'm always on the limit, because if you back off, I've known drivers to actually make mistakes because they backed off and not focusing. So I'd be surprised if Cashnet isn't pushing it. He might only be driving now 90 to 95%, but he'll still be pushing on that car.
Yeah, you'll
otherwise you get out of the zone.
Yeah, definitely be pushing the limits of that Audi, and maybe even trying to push it a bit too much, and that's when it starts to become a bit dangerous, and you could spin even with 10 to 11 seconds to his teammate. Pirelli pushing at his absolute maximum, can definitely make it up, as Mayo's coming up on my screen and is having some sort of battle, and Vectro maybe went wide there. And maybe he's trying to close up to Vectro, and maybe trying to start to push the limits a little bit of Vectro, and seeing where Vectro's weak, where Vectro's strong, and obviously where he can make up the most time on Vectro. Ooh, that was a bit of a voice crack, sorry about that. But yeah, everyone, once again, there's not too much of a talking point during a Grand Prix like this on lap 18 of 44, obviously about... Oh, no! No, that's Vector around. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good for the Lamborghini. Do you reckon there's a problem for him, or just running it a bit wide?
Running a bit wide, probably pushing it, losing the back end over the crest, because the back end will get light over there. And if you're not prepared for it, it will go round. Especially...
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that corner is a bit of a demon corner, and if you're pushing the limits a bit too much, you can start to lose time, start to lose traction, and definitely start to lose tire temperature and even tire grip, as the drivers will start to be feeling loss of the tires on around about lap 22. Do you predict, Jordan, or maybe is it some sort of different lap, maybe even lap now?
Well, in theory, it would be the midway point, but I'm going to say, because I think some of these guys will be on hard tyres, I think we may see them go to lap 30 and potentially try and go on a soft stint to gain that extra bit of grip and time at the end of the race. So maybe a bit of strategy involved for the end of the race here.
Yeah, definitely maybe a bit of strategy involved for the drivers here at Algarve. Trying to maybe push the limits as much as possible, and even to the extent of pushing too hard. Once again, we've been talking about pushing too hard and losing grip in the tires, losing pace, and then eventually, like Vectro did, losing speed, and then the car goes round, and you have no opportunity to catch it. Unfortunately, these cars don't have they're very heavy, so once they start to spin around, then you're kind of a bit of a passenger at that point. And here on lap 20...
Just a bit of an interesting point now on temperatures. I've been having a bit of a monitor through, because they have been getting warmer. We're now at 90 degrees Fahrenheit ambient, which works out at 32.2 degrees Celsius. And on the track, it's 123 Fahrenheit, which is 50.5 degrees Celsius, which is much hotter than it was in qualifying. So
yeah, so
sometimes to the drivers a bit more.
Yeah, but once again, with temperatures like that, you got to start thinking about your tyres, and they're going to degrade a lot quicker.
Yeah,
However,
the
they're
degradation will be quite bad.
yeah, definitely will be a problem for the drivers, and yeah, it's actually looking quite calm down the field. Not too many battles, not necessarily too much drama. Obviously, flip with this time penalty. Do you reckon we should be seeing a pit stop for fuel? I'm thinking that fuel around this track might be a little bit of a problem.
It depends, because I think we might do, because I think most of them are definitely under-fueled. For example, FFS, I think it's definitely under-fueled and definitely coming back into the pit for a pit stop. For Cashnet, I think we'll be going, well, if he comes in, it'll be for times. So I know you can run for about an hour with these cars on rich fuel mix with a full tank of fuel.
Yeah, definitely.
A bit longer than that, so I think Cashnet's in for the duration, but FFS will be coming in.
Yeah, it's the drivers will probably need to make a pit stop as Cashnet once again coming up to the lap car of, I think that's Pete now. So every time we seem to flip to Cashnet, he's coming up to a lap car. So maybe we can hope that that Cashnet might spice something up, maybe start to back off a little bit. Maybe he could be the first driver to make a pit stop. That's the question that I'll be definitely wondering from all the drivers here.
Talking about fuel, because FFS is the only one to have very little fuel load, and he hasn't made.
Oh yeah.
Because of it. I mean, that car is the lightest on the grid at the moment, and he's not making up time.
Yeah, definitely he's not making up time, and he's definitely not making up not too many positions either. I can't remember what position. I think he started in P12. Not exactly being the necessarily the fastest driver on the grid. However, he might be able to, when his fuel load does get very, very low, to maybe push it a little bit and maybe start to catch up to Mayo, as that's Pete into the pit lane. I think that might be for damage as well. I think he had damage on about lap 10 as well, but this could be the first driver that we see coming for maybe new tyres and maybe even new fuel.
Well, having a look at the moment, and to be honest, the graphics aren't very helpful. Definitely a bit of fuel, I think, went in the car.
Yeah, I'm thinking that a bit of fuel did go in as well, as we move back to
There's some damage fixing as well going on there, I think, because the cars aren't doing a lot.
Yeah, as we now see Phoenix coming to the pit lane as well, to grab his set of tyres as well, and maybe even some fuel as well. I don't think they've actually put any fuel in. I think they're just
purely a damage stop there.
Yeah, I think it is, and if I'd always think that if you made damage on the first lap, you might just want to might just want to get it repaired there and then you can start to push from there on out.
Mayo is now in the pit lane.
So he's still pretty good on fuel, but now the question is, will he go to a set of slick tires? Yeah, he's going to go to a set of round tires. Will he go to a will he go to softs or hard? That's the question that I would definitely be asking.
I believe he's gone hards again.
Yeah, so he's probably going for a.
Is that Phoenix? What's Phoenix doing?
Yeah, I think Phoenix is coming to the pit lane again. I don't know.
No, I think he's come out of the pit box and stopped, almost as if there's been a pit error and his wheel's not on. No, it probably is.
Well, that's yeah, very weird. Still got damage to the front of the car, so maybe they didn't actually repair his car. Oh no, maybe they were just doing his pit stop and the people weren't there. But it looks like Mayo's come out behind him, so that's not necessarily great.
I think he's got a brand new set of hard tyres, I think. and a bit of damage fixing, I believe.
Yeah, I think that probably was internal damage. I'm predicting maybe a little bit of suspension damage, maybe a little bit of steering damage that have also been done there as well. Obviously, you saw him have a.
Sorry to interrupt him, but when will FFS retaliate to that? Because brand new tyres for Mayo means as Vectru now comes in the pits, 4 new tyres there.
Yeah, that's very interesting. The Lamborghini's now coming in. Will this now trigger a bunch of cars to come into the pits, as we see?
I think Vectru is reacting now to Mayo and trying not to lose anything to him, but this could cost FFS from staying out there on worn tyres.
I think he's fixing damage as well, which will probably give Mayo the opportunity. Obviously, Mayo.
In the middle of the
where is he? Yeah, that's Matt's probably gonna. Sorry, Vectro is probably gonna come out in front of Mayo. This will probably be.
Vector's on his way out already.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to make it.
Mayo's going through turn 12. He's nowhere near. Vector's out in front.
Yep. Vectro's out in front of Mayo, so maybe Mayo had a bit more damage than Vectro, and was able to maybe get a bit of a quicker stop, or Vectro could have maybe not got any damage repaired, but it looked like he did get damage repaired because his pit guys weren't doing much at all. So I'm predicting now with
F7C is up into 8th for a brief time here, I think, before he pits.
It's relatively now about 40 minutes or so, or maybe 30 minutes or so left in the Grand Prix. These drivers will definitely be trying to spice it up. 20 laps remaining or so to get position done and get pit stops done as well.
FFS continuing on for another lap now. So very long first stint.
Oh, Vectro's got something. No, that's just getting near F7 in the other Nissan. Yeah, FSU in the other Porsche. Definitely going to be trying to get the position.
He's looking for the overcut, which might work on the basis that he had less fuel, meaning the tyres might still be in a not so bad state.
Yeah, definitely that's what I'm guessing as well. I feel like with lower fuel, he is on a softer compound, and he's definitely got maybe something to contend with here. We could maybe see him coming out in P7. Obviously, Matt's behind him by 35 seconds, and that's a little over a pit stop. So we'll probably see Matt. Oh, excuse me. We'll probably see Matt overtake FSU as Vectro maybe trying to look up to catch F7. We should probably go onto his onboard because that's always fun to do, and take a look on what the track looks like. So it looks like that cloud from the start of the race has cleared up. So it looks like quite a nice day as Nissan getting all over the place of F7C. Fast Lamborghini behind him is definitely going to try and push, as that Nissan sounds like a rotary engine, but yeah, it's definitely the time for Vectro to get the position done very quickly. Just look how much he's closing up on fresh tyres and a little bit more fuel. It's absolutely monumental on the Nissan driver. You reckon that's fault on the Nissan driver, or wow, Vectro is taking a very different line than everyone else through that corner. It's he could maybe look to the outside here.
Oh, I thought he was going to look for the switchbacks left-handed to get the inside.
Oh, he did.
So that's a done deal.
Yes it is, and that is F7 now down the field, which is not necessarily great in that Nissan. So.
Struggling for a bit of grip, I think.
Yeah, definitely. No, yeah, it looks like. Oh, yeah, that's F7 now coming into the pit lane for his first stop at the Grand Prix. I believe it's his first stop at the Grand Prix. as he engages that pit limiter.
I don't think he came in the pits after his spin in lap 1.
Broke very early for the pit for his pit box there. Bit of a Nigel Mansell pit entry.
Don't want to be doing a Kamui Kobayashi nowadays. That's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of the same Cash. As now iBridge. Yeah. That's very interesting.
Will this trigger Alashamps into pitting as well on the next lap?
Even to that, will that trigger Pirelli and Cashnet maybe to come into the pit lane? As you can see, iBridge, I don't know if that was his brake lights or that was his actual lights flashing them, maybe to signify something. He's been raised for his lollipop, so he is clear to go.
Also in the pits. This is going to be important for FFSU. He's coming through his pit stop. Where's Vectro? Vectro's in the middle lap, just in front of where Mayo was when Vectro was battling him for his pit stop.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very, very close. And we should maybe see...
The penultimate corner is about to come into turn 14 very shortly.
Ooh, this will be close.
I think Vector's going to get him halfway through the final corner. FFS hasn't left the pits.
Oh, Matt's got him. He's out.
Vector's going to get him down the straight though.
Yep, FSS is behind.
And where's Mayo and all of this? Nowhere near.
Yeah, Mayo's way off. That's a big loss out for Mayo. Mayo looked very good for this Grand Prix, but iBridge coming in for fresh rubber. Also FFS coming in as well. So could we see iBridge maybe start to close up to flip? It's only a 33-second. You can definitely start to close that up. As we lost another driver, I believe that's a Phoenix. Once again supporting my reason. Just the drivers leaving, which is very interesting. Alan will he react to everyone else and come into the pit lane? Same with the two front runners of Cashnet and Pirelli.
I think the Porsche's a lot nicer on its tyres, so we could see him go slightly longer, but as we've seen with FFS, that's not always the best idea. Because FFS is now at 11 seconds behind Vectro, but Mayo, I think the biggest loser there is Mayo. He's lost 2 places from having to come in with damage.
Yeah, definitely they all lost a big amount of places. Sorry, once again, having a good sip of my water bottle. Yeah, everyone's looking very good. I should probably mention as well, fastest lap, 1:43.6, Cashnet holding that to his name once again. And Allo Champs just looks to be nursing his tyres. Maybe he's still quite good on fuel. And will he come into the pits? No, he doesn't. He keeps his lead, and I believe that's Matt just in front of him. So we'll take a look at Cashnet now, coming up to the Ferrari of Mayo, I believe that is. Yeah, that's the lowest Ferrari. So maybe it's starting to lap Mayo now. Within all the top 4, all of them are under a second away from Cashnet. iBridge is the next man, a second away from Cashnet. So it's very interesting now that Cashnet has nearly lapped about a quarter of the field. So
there's a bit more than that. He's chasing down iBridges.
Oh, that's iBridge. Okay, I thought. Sorry, I thought that was Mayo this whole time. Well, that's opened it up a hell of a lot. Maybe Cashnet just sitting behind people with fresher rubber, just trying to maybe feel out what they're feeling in fresher tires, and maybe seeing how their tires react. As that is iBridge into the pit lane once again, I believe.
He's just letting Cashnet through on the straight there. He's just moved
over.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, sorry, that looked like iBridge was going into the pits. That one.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one.
That was that would have been very interesting, and I think he would have lost out from P5 and probably moved down to somewhere in P7 or so. But obviously he didn't do that. But no, obviously, very interesting. Obviously, Flip still with that time penalty in the Nissan, the number 23 car. Flip, relatively, he hasn't been great this whole race, but he's sitting happy in P4. He's, yeah, very quiet. Not many overtakes. Maybe he's just waiting until the end of the Grand Prix to start to push it a little bit now. But once again, the Porsche doing very, very well. Of Algarve, sitting happy in P3 on the podium, and I believe he's just lapped one of the Lamborghinis. So yes, that's
yeah, he's just lapped Petco.
Okay. So yeah, that's yeah, a lot of lapping going on. Once again, I'm going to come back to it's through the middle part of the Grand Prix. Very, very boring. Not too much action. Obviously, the first 5 laps very very action packed, and then the next, I reckon probably lap 38. I reckon that's when it will start to crack up a little bit, and definitely start to make this Grand Prix a extremely interesting one.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Hopefully the field manages back up a little bit after all the pit stops, and especially if the guys who haven't pitted yet lose a lot of time not pitting.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
That definitely will be interesting, because you got to think these guys on fresher rubber are setting probably quicker sector times now, and maybe even quicker times.
Well, just having a look at a bit of a comparison between Algarve and Einbridge at the moment, and Einbridge was 3/10 down on that last lap. Whether that was because he let Kashnit through or not, we'll have a see now.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of an awkward part of the Grand Prix. I'm going to come back to it again. For us commentators, we don't really have too much to commentate on, but this is obviously where strategy starts to come into play, and definitely the guys with quicker tyres will be able to push quicker. And I think that is Vectro with another time penalty. I'll come to you now, Jordan, to fill us in a little bit on that.
Yeah, I've got the time screens up. Vectro, a 1 second penalty. That'll be for corner cutting. Flip, a 1 second penalty for track infringements as well. So, not massive penalties, and very lucky to get away with such a small time penalty there.
Yeah, definitely lucky to get away with time penalties like that. And if the drivers are pushing a little bit too much, then that could turn from a 1 second penalty even into a 5 second to 10 second penalty, which will be not necessarily great for the drivers. Obviously, the track's still getting hotter and hotter here on lap 30 of the Grand Prix. Sorry, lap 31 for Kashnit, who's been able to pull out almost a 20-second gap onto his teammate. 16 seconds to Ferrelli, who's just an absolute joke behind Kashnit, and he's not been able to pull up on him whatsoever. Kashnit's through the middle sector, and he's just coming into the first corner. And at this stage,
new tyres to old tyres doesn't look like any difference at all. Einbridge was 1.3 slower than Algarve on the last lap, so it looks like it doesn't matter what tyres you're on at all.
Well, that's... You gotta think now, was it worth pitting? Is it worth taking that track position to maybe get fresh rubber? It's
It may be that it pays dividends at the end of the race. I mean, because I think Algarve and Kashnit may be looking to go the whole race distance without a pit stop here, if they're on that hard slate tyre. So it could make it interesting in the end if they're on completely burnt out rubber.
Yeah, it definitely could make a lot of things interesting, as the drivers are definitely starting to push it. Ferrelli and Kashnit still quite heavy on fuel, but I'm thinking that Kashnit tyres, I'm thinking that he's probably running the hards for now. Excuse me. He's probably running the hards for now, and maybe he could go to a set of the softs from now. I think they'd probably last. With the track as hot as it is, it's gonna start melting away grip very, very quickly, and at this stage, Cashnet needs to start thinking about, hey, lap 32, that's my racing number. Cashnet needs to start thinking about, as every driver's been clipping that curve, Cashnet needs to start thinking about his teammate, and a 16-second gap could turn into a 10-second gap, which could turn into a 5-second gap, and then eventually, obviously, Pirelli's going to start to overtake. So if Cashnet's wearing his tyres out at the rate he is and flat spotting them like he is, he could start to lose an absolute hell of a lot of grip, and start to eventually lose pace as he comes up to the Cadillac of Pete. He's actually not in last place, so congrats to Pete. Pete's doing a very, very good job in that Cadillac. Obviously, the Cadillac not the easiest car to drive. Cashnet held up a little bit. That's a very dangerous place to let a car through over the undulation change, because you can't see down the track very much when you're at the top. And yeah, Jordan, do you reckon that was a good place for Cashnet to be let through?
It wasn't a bad one. It doesn't entirely ruin the lap. Not the easiest one, but it's definitely wide enough down there, so I think it wasn't too bad on the other place they passed. Just promise if you stay in front up over the hill, you can't really then let them pass until you get to about turn 13.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it kind of lets me think that it's like letting a car through at the bottom of El Rouge. Bit interesting. Maybe El Rouge is a bit worse. Yeah, Cashnet still the man out in front. Still on his original set of tyres, and I'm thinking at this stage, has Cashnet gone for a more of a race setup compared to a qualifying setup? I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, you can change your setups from the race to qualifying. So,
almost.
Oh
Very
no!
big slide from Vectro, trying to chase down Matt and his teammate.
Yeah, that corner once again, a very difficult one for all the drivers.
Amazingly, very rookie error that from Vectro. He got a tyre on the grass on the outside before the corner under brakes. Very rookie error, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely a very rookie error from the Lamborghini driver. And once again, we saw him drifting, and now he's going a bit Tokyo and doing a little bit of the Fast and Furious. And eventually, once you start to drift, you eventually will get it wrong. That's when the car will go down 1 second to his teammate, so he'll look to be outscoring his teammate. Did Vectro pit? I don't believe that Vectro's pit.
Vectro has made a pit stop already.
Yeah, that's right.
But remember, he has got a 1 second penalty, so even if he does pass Matt, he's going to have to get a second ahead of him before he can confirm that position.
Yeah, definitely. Vectro will want to be trying to push the limits of the car, and even to the stage of like we were saying, pushing the limits a little bit too far, and eventually losing the back end, and round she goes. Like he did is once again exceeding. I think he exceeded another bit of track position there. Sorry, track limits there. As once again over the hill and down once again into the next hill. This track's a lot of undulation change. Do you reckon that phases some sort of problem to the drivers? I mean, I like the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, which is, I love the undulation change, but driving this circuit just feels a little awkward.
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult track to master, Algarve. With all the undulation, you've got to be prepared for the car to suddenly go right without you wanting it to. And that can make it severely annoying to drive. But you set the car up so you have a bit more rear downforce. Not by a lot, because you don't want to lose all the pace down the straight. You definitely want a little bit more rear downforce just to try and keep the back end to stick. But if you get it right, it's a very nice feeling. As Vectro goes past Matt there into turn 1, I can only feel that was Matt almost letting him through there.
Yeah, definitely is. Once again, Matt's might have a look up the inside there. The two fighting once again. I think Matt's just let him go, realise who's the faster driver, and multi-21 Seb will be the
team orders put in that one, I believe.
Because that didn't just look like an overtake. Looked like Matt had definitely backed off, and definitely stopped everyone. Sorry, not stopped everyone. Stopped a bit of stop and start. Was what I'm trying to say.
I reckon that will be because of the team's championship, because they are it's Calpa Motorsport, the two Lamborghinis, and they are only 7 points below Lovers Racing Academy, which is the Porsches. At the moment, you've got Alan-Shams in third and FFSU for the Porsches. Now, FFSU is behind both Lamborghinis. Now, if Matt can stay with Vectro and make sure there's a 1 second gap between Vectro and FFS, that's damage limitation there for the team.
We're kind of at the stage of the Grand Prix where if you make a pit stop, it's actually probably going to hurt your time. With around about 10 laps to go, I wouldn't want to be necessarily making a pit stop from now. But I guess it's the driver's opinion and how he feels in the car. But if I was cashing it for Ellie, you kind of just have to stay out now, and kind of bite the bullet with the tires not being necessarily up to temperature anymore, and definitely degrading his Vectro. Once again, running it not conservative, very wide onto the curbs, and throwing up a little bit of sparks there. Is Ibridge once again in the Ferrari. We've come back to him. P5 sitting happy, and I think Allo Champs at this stage will definitely 19 second gap to Flip, who will have a difficult time probably closing up to Allo Champs. Now you got to remember that 1 second time penalties, so it's more of a 20-second gap now to Allo Champs, which is huge. But then we look at Cashnet and see the 20-second gap to Ferrelli, his teammate. I'm actually starting to think that Ferrelli might have a problem here, maybe some sort of damage problem, or maybe his tyres, or I don't know. Jordan, what do you think's going on with Ferrelli?
The tyre temps look both the same for both the Audis. I think Ferrelli's been trying to push the car a bit too much here. Either that, or he's now in tyre conservation mode. He looks a bit more careful with the throttles and corners. Almost like he's now conserving, taking second place at the moment, and taking the points just for the championship right now. Because let's be honest, you don't want to be losing second place when Cashnet's not far behind in the championship.
I should also probably mention, as we went to Ferrelli, a perfect time, why he had a little bit of a lock-up into the hairpin there. I believe that was from F7, from when he, on the first lap, from when he ran over all the gravel, and I think he might have brought some gravel onto the track. Obviously, this Project Cars 2 has track degradation, which means that the track gets better or worse over. So if you run wide and you bring some dirt onto the track, it will have significant less grip than it would have at the start of the Grand Prix. However, Ferrelli seemed to have managed it very well, and he's still running quite alright on fuel, as is everyone. Really, we went from 15 now to 11, and everyone looking very good here on that 37. Excuse me. As cashed it once again, just pulling out the lead. I don't know how he's doing it in the Audi. And I'm thinking, he's running less fuel than his teammates, so maybe he's using a little bit more, and Ferrelli might just be able to snatch something up here. Jordan, do you reckon that we might even see a little fight to the end of the Grand Prix?
I think we may have more of a mid-pack battle near the end of the Grand Prix, but the way it's going at the moment, it looks like this could be the finishing order, which is a bit of a shame at the moment. Unless someone has a surprise damage pit stop at the front. It's all very stale these days, I would say, because the two Lamborghinis in the middle are now working together to cement their positions, and FFS isn't really catching.
Yeah, it's definitely the time of the Grand Prix to start thinking about position, and I think he's coming to lap. I'm going to say Ibridge this time, but I have a feeling it's Mayo. Yes, that's Ibridge. Finally, I was right for once. After his second pit stop now. So, sorry, his first pit stop from Ibridge. Yeah, so you got to start to think now. Oh, excuse me. You got to start to think now. If drivers will be making a little bit of a dash for final positions, and with only a couple of laps remaining, about 8 laps remaining. Drivers will definitely be looking for a position, and at this stage, I don't think we'll see any more drivers coming into the pit lane. Jordan, do you reckon I don't think we will see any more drivers coming into the pit lane.
No, I think the only people that are going to come in the pits will be the top 2, or maybe if they really are struggling to come in, others have soft tyres and go out. They will splash of fuel, but it won't be a slow stop, so that's about the only people I'd expect, because they've got a very nice cushion at the moment, which if anything did go wrong, they've got enough time to sort it out. But yeah, it's too late to make any sort of tyre advantage work now.
Yeah, definitely, and probably this should be a good time. We haven't spoken to Hero much. Obviously, our technical director here at GAVRA Racing. Hero, how do you feel about this Grand Prix so far?
Yeah, the positions are quite fixed at the moment. I don't think the top 4 will come into pits. As a pit stop is actually I think 45 seconds or so. So that's quite much. So even for Cashnet it will be close to other champs if he does the pit stop. And he will never do a pit stop before Ferrari, because he will lose the position to Ferrari. And Ferrari will not do it because he will lose the position to other champs, and so on and so on. So they won't pit at the moment. The only position which is quite far still apart, but might get closer, is Ferrari and Ibridge. Ibridge was before or in front of Flip Flip before his pit stop. He must have thought about this pit stop, why he's doing it. So there has to be some advantage, and at the moment he is 4 seconds or nearly 4 seconds faster than Flip Flip, and Flip Flip's lap times are degrading a lot actually. So he was in the 45s like 5 laps ago, now he is in the 49th. So 4 seconds slower, or almost 4 seconds slower, and it's degrading much more. So we might see him really struggling at the end of the race, and if he has some spins or even some really accidents, like going into the walls. Yeah, you never know. At the moment he's struggling. If he continues to struggle more and more, Ibridge might get a chance to get this 4th position from him.
Very, very interesting, yeah. What we got you, Hayo? The Lamborghini is looking like a bit of team orders going on. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think they should have been bit more Red Bull and fight for the position before settling on?
Yeah, I don't think so. That there is some team orders going on. Vector is usually a bit faster than Matteo. Vector had some troubles in his first stint, especially at the end, where his tires were overheating a lot, and he had some spins we saw in the stream. So he lost a lot of time there, but overall he is faster than Matteo. At the end, the same can happen again. His tires can overheat. He's one of the rare drivers using a controller in this league, so he feels comfortable with it. But usually controller drivers are not that soft on the tires, so maybe he will get again some overheating, how it seems in the first stint, and that will or might change things at the end. But at the moment he's 2 seconds or not, 1.5 seconds faster than Matteo, so pulling away still, and it's like 6 laps to go. I think he can hold this position and drive it home safely.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with that one. Thank you for a good insight here. Yeah, obviously the man running our directing for this Grand Prix, a very very talented man in streaming and things like that. So I suggest give him a good odd follow.
I will agree with him on the controller front, because I've been there and done it. It's hard on the tyres. Definite agreement on that one.
Yeah, I guess we do have to think about the tyres now, and definitely with the final 4 laps remaining, the drivers will definitely been starting to sorry, final 3 laps remaining. Definitely starting to think about tyres, as I think Cashnet will make it to the end on fuel quite conservatively as well. He's not going to do a Monza again and wait until the last, I don't know, how many laps was it, last 6 laps or so, come into the pits really quickly and have a good slurp up on fuel. Obviously, Cashnet doing very well out in front, 21 seconds to the car ahead. I don't know if that was a car off. No, yeah, you can see some of the grey spots on the track there, and that's some of the gravel on the track, which could be a little bit of a problem for some of the drivers. No, he looks quite calm and collective inside this car. Obviously, a good long Grand Prix Algarve is, because it's such a long circuit. 44 laps now. We're coming to the final 3, so he'll definitely be trying to do as much as possible to get the car to first place, as apparently Pete might be having a little bit of a battle with Mayo here in this Cadillac, and maybe Pete could get a final couple of final position here to secure P9 maybe, but he is happy in P10, 49 second to F7 in the other Nissan Flip-Flip's teammate, but Mayo looks to maybe have a bit of a problem. So Pete definitely closing up to Mayo, an absolute monumental amount, as we'll actually ride back.
Actually winning the heats potentially, because his tyre temperature is much colder than everyone else's. So potentially in the pits.
Maybe, because he was sitting happy in, what was it, P7 or so, before his pit stop. So yeah, that's very interesting, as Pete's got a lift almost all the way off, and felt that you could go at least maybe a half flat.
As well. That Cadillac is very quick in a straight line.
Yes, it is, and he might do it up the inside. He is going to do it up the inside. I think this is a... Yep. Oh, no, he's run it wide. Look at those brakes. Absolutely on fire, and I think Mayo might have spun. Did Mayo spin?
I don't know, but he's lost a lot of time.
Maybe Mayo did have a bit of a lock-up, and maybe Pete might have just bit the bullet and kept going. Maybe, I don't know how much it is for an illegal overtake.
I wonder if Mayo actually cut the corner, potentially trying to get the switch back, and maybe cut it a bit too much and had to lift off for track limits potentially.
Yeah, definitely. Track limits is a little bit of it's a definitely interesting one. With all the drivers, having a little bit of a track explore throughout the whole Grand Prix, but no, otherwise, looks like everyone's doing a relatively good job at keeping the side. Only Vector and Flip-Flip having a little bit of a problem throughout the Grand Prix. Final 4 laps from final lap remaining. Sorry, I was looking at the top for Pete there. Obviously, Pete's nearly 4 laps behind, as apparently Mayo might be coming back at Pete now. Is Mayo coming back at Pete? And I think Pete's let Mayo through, which was very good of Pete there. That was very kind of Pete, but he will have the run now onto the straight now, which will give that Cadillac once again another shot at overtaking that Ferrari. Cadillac's got a little bit of damage, so that's going to create some little bit of drag, I think. But no, I think Pete's definitely has the opportunity now to maybe make another overtake. That's the Audi of Cashnet
too far back here to think about it. gonna have to set him up for the final lap.
Yep, never say never. Really, in motorsport, Pete taking a very wide line through that corner. I guess he didn't really want to hit the inside bumps.
That Cadillac's understeering a bit through the first few corners, but again, if he's hit the bumps, that is to be expected.
Yeah, I think he might actually. He could go for the dive. He could definitely go for the dive. Will he? No, he doesn't. He turns in very. He turned in very late for the corner here, as we'll yeah, definitely. He got the traction down beautifully through that corner, and was definitely able to gain position on the Ferrari there. And
you can see what Pete's doing here, and it's very clever. He's squaring all the corners off and making sure he's got straight lines coming out of him compared to Mayo, because Mayo's going very, very tight than normally. So he's looking to get the traction out of the corners to do the overtake.
That's a very smart racing. Yep, Cashnet did start the last lap here on lap 44 in Algarve. Algarve. God, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get this name right here in Portugal, but yeah, very Algarve. There we go. Garve. Sorry to all of our Portuguese listeners. If there are any, please feel free to drop a comment. But no, yeah,
Pete's on the back of him.
Yep, definitely. He's going to be looking for the position here. Obviously, Pete's going to the outs and inside now. He's definitely a hell of a lot faster. Yes, he will, and I think he's made the corner there, and Mayo just has nothing to fight for, really. That was a beautiful overtake by Pete.
And again, Pete using the squaring the corner off technique to now drive away from Mayo as well.
Yep, Mayo's gone wide.
Done deal for the Cadillac. That's fantastic driving.
Yeah, that was a beautiful little battle that Pete and Mayo had, and Mayo definitely taking a different line through there. I think he's trying to avoid that gravel that I was talking about, gravel and dirt.
Coming up to the final corner now on the final lap.
Final corner for the final lap for Cashnet here in Algarve in Portugal. The Audi driver's definitely going to win this race as he comes across the line. No, that's not the line. I got that confused so many times. He's going to come across the line now to finish the race here on lap 44. Cashnet, the Audi driver, has done an absolute beautiful job. He controlled it from the start. He controlled it to the end. And he's won this Grand Prix with Ferrari now 38 seconds behind. That's a huge gap. I remember when we were saying 3 seconds.
I think Ferrari's either had a spin or gone for a very quick splash and bash. Or
yes, definitely.
That used to be 20 seconds, and a gap doesn't grow 20 seconds just like that if you don't spin or do something.
Yeah, I think he might have done a little bit of a four-wheel drift, but he comes across the line to finish now in P2, and I believe that was Pete. Yes, that is Pete finishing the race there, happy in P9. Allo Champs, a solid near minute and behind the leader, but obviously the Porsche driver did an absolute beautiful job going flat out through the final corner. So definitely that car had some good downforce on it today, and he finishes out our podium in P3.
Flip. Is he already finished the race?
I don't believe so.
Because
maybe.
he stopped at the hairpin. I got a feeling he may have already crossed the line. Yeah, I believe he has.
I don't believe so, but as we see the two Ferraris, the Audi of Cashnet, I think that was, as everyone's very happy about the Grand Prix Ibridge finishing there in P5, and the Audi and the Ferrari do make contact there. So your final grid round out today is Cashnet in P1 in the Audi, the British boy doing an absolute amazing job. Ferrari there in P2. Allo Champs there in P3 in the Porsche doing a very good job. The Swedish man from P5 to P3. Flip from P3 to, from P4, stays in P4. 1 second penalty didn't affect him, the German man. Ibridge, the British boy in the Ferrari, did a very good job going from P3 to P5. Not necessarily great. Vectro The two Lamborghinis doing very good. The Dutchman and the Italian boys doing a total of 43 laps, so they did get lapped, unfortunately. The Aloe Chance's teammate finishing out in P8, FSU. Pete, an amazing P9. P10 to Mayo, and obviously P11 to F7 Pollux, who retired, finishes there in P13. JPH, who was obviously our commentator for today. And yeah, that was an absolute amazing Grand Prix, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, Jordan and Hio. Did you boys like that Grand Prix? Was that an interesting one?
I think the start of it was quite a good one. Obviously thinned out, which was a bit of a shame during it. But cashing it, my driver of the day's got to be him. He had that car hooked up all day and walked away with it. Absolute domination of the race.
Yeah, definitely. I'd have to agree with that one. Hio, what did you think about that Grand Prix?
Yeah, it was a really nice Grand Prix. Bit of strategy, especially in the middle pack, and that decided some of the race. For example, Flip with his zero stop strategy over iBridge, very nicely done. Yeah, it was a fun race to watch. Maybe not for the top three places, because that was quite solid at lap 10 or so. But a lot of fighting in the middle and the backpack. So it was quite a nice race, quite a nice evening to watch this race.
Yeah, definitely, and I'll thank you all for joining me today. We'll round out the end of the Algarve Grand Prix here in Portugal, and thank you for joining us here on GAVRA Racing. We'll catch you next time, and have a great night.